Hi everyone, happy Monday, first day of a big holiday week. We're going to get to your holiday travel forecast in a moment. We have some kind of breaking news headlines we want to talk about as well this morning. But I want to remind you, of course, we're live on Facebook every weekday morning. You can get a quick update from us at that point. It stays on your feed all throughout the day on Facebook. We make it into a podcast as well. If that's how you like to get your news, go to inform.com/podcast. Look for the Inform Minute, but we're really everywhere. You can find us on Instagram.
Yep.
You can find us
TikTok.
on TikTok.
Yep.
You can find us on our Inform YouTube channel. Easiest, just turn on WDAY. Every weekday morning, of course, we're on from 5 to 7. And it is a big, big week.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the wind, though? Like, as we talk about today,
Yeah.
I'm still, yesterday was wild.
It was a whipping day. We had a gust of 49 here in Fargo. If you were out and about at 3:30 specifically, that's when that peak gust happened.
Oh.
So you felt 49 miles per hour coming at you yesterday at 3:30. Plenty of gusts were also in the 40s to 50s. I had 52 in Rolla and in Langdon. I had 48 was the peak gust in Grand Forks, so we were cooking yesterday with those winds. They stayed pretty breezy through the overnight, started to back down, and now they're much calmer this morning. Maybe still a little bit breezy, especially on the Minnesota side, but a lot calmer out across North Dakota. Wind turning to the south today, 5 to 15, so we're back to our normal North Dakota, northern Minnesota breeze. It's cold, though.
It is. There's a bite in the air.
Yes, it feels a little, it feels a little December-like. Technology and life is fun. Okay, it's cold this morning. Tim, our building manager, walked through this morning before the show. It was like 4:30. And he goes, this feels like winter, like the first kind of real taste of winter. It's -1 right now in Grand Forks, so I do have spots dropping below 0 for the actual air temp. It's 9 right now here in Fargo. Factor in a little bit of a wind, and we easily have wind chills down into the teens below. I had -16 up in Langdon this morning.
So if you feel like it's cold, it is cold.
It is cold.
Wind chill,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was actually leaving the door, and my winter coat was in my husband's pickup, and I was teetering on the edge of, do I want to go get it, or do I want to just risk it? I've got a dentist appointment later today, so I was like, I need to go get the coat.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did because it's cold outside. It'll stay cool today. Temperatures topping off in the 20s. 26 is what we're forecasting this afternoon. Nice sunshine today, light wind, just kind of a regular December day. Average high today is 23, so 26 is kind of neck and neck with average. 30s and 40s are back, though, the rest of this week. I have quiet weather until Christmas Eve, and that's when we start to track what I've dubbed an inconvenience. It's not convenient for holiday travel. Christmas Eve, we're looking at maybe some rain starting, switching over to snow probably Christmas Eve night, and then snow by Sunday morning, or Monday morning, Christmas morning. Still a lot of days away. A lot can change. The pattern can totally change. It can miss us entirely. It can plop on us. We can change amounts still, timing. Temperatures will be a really big factor in this too, because we'll be sitting close to about 40 on Sunday afternoon. So which type of precip do we get? And then when does that transition happen? And all of that will impact what happens on your roads and how much snow piles up. Lots of question marks still. You're just going to have to keep checking back with us. We promise we will keep you updated, let you know what's going on. As of this morning's model runs, I'd say maybe a couple inches of snow, so just enough to make things a little bit slippery, but that is subject to change. So, yeah.
Can I get you to stay a minute?
Yeah.
Because our top story that we're still working on getting confirmed kind of is weather related. That's why I'm going to kind of want you to tag team this with me.
For sure.
We started a little late here because I was upstairs once again trying to get a hold of the Beltrami County Sheriff, their emergency manager. We called this morning, like really early in the morning, like 3:34 in the morning. Yeah. We couldn't get through to anyone. Anyway, so what we're trying to get new information on is an ice rescue that is happening up in Beltrami County on a lake up there, Upper Red Lake. So we're hearing 40, 50 people stuck on the ice.
A lot of people.
Because the ice pulled away from shore. Can you kind of explain that this is wind related?
For sure. Okay, so first off, the ice is not that strong just yet. Probably strong enough to be out there ice fishing. I don't want to fault those people, but it's not a super strong and sturdy ice just yet. We have not had steady freezing weather, and our temperatures have been up and down. We have been refreezing and thawing and going back and forth, which just makes the ice overall a little bit weaker because it hasn't had that good time in the deep freeze to make it very sturdy. Then you had wind gusts yesterday, 40 to 50 miles an hour. I don't have an anemometer everywhere, a wind measuring tool, so I don't know the exact gust at Upper Red Lake, but it's pretty easy to assume that 40 to 50 was kind of the name of the game yesterday. Plus, temperatures were above freezing yesterday, so you get a little bit of a warm-up and a gust of 50, and that will break that ice away and then push it out into the open water, and that's why those folks got stranded out there. So a combination of warm weather recently, warmer weather yesterday, and those wind gusts was just a really...
Power of Mother Nature,
yes.
The power of those winds. So I know we did show some video November of 2022,
yep.
Similar situation, 200 people stuck out there,
yeah.
right? That was similar to what
yep.
we're talking about now.
Yep, that wind will do that. Yeah, and it was out of the northwest yesterday, which is our prevailing strong wind, so it'll usually push that northwest coast ice out into open water. And then it was cold this morning, too. That's what I was thinking about when we were running the story on First News. Yep. Temperature was down to 4-5 degrees with wind chills colder than -10 up in the Bemidji area. And so those folks were not only stranded out on the ice, but it was also very cold. And do we have any kind of an update?
I was going to say, the dispatcher, I asked the question, have all of the people been rescued from the ice? And the dispatcher said, yes, I believe so. Yes, I believe so. So I don't know if that's confirmation, right? So then tried to transfer me, and I was not able to get a hold of the sheriff. I have not got a call back from the emergency manager yet.
Yeah.
So we're kind of back and forth. The last update we actually got from Beltrami County was like, well, now it was like 7 o'clock last night.
Oh, okay.
So I can't even add up the hours now, but
yeah.
It's been quite some time. And the Facebook page is still saying that they're still working on the ice rescue.
Okay.
So as soon as we find out if everyone has been rescued, that was a very long, way of getting around the fact that we don't know for sure if everyone's off the ice. But 40 to 50 people at one point were stuck out on the water. And of course, it's a massive effort to try to get them back. So
unfortunately, this happens semi-frequently. I mean, we had one last winter that we showed video of on First News, but it also means that those folks in the emergency management team knows what to do.
Yes, that's true. That's
so
positive.
They're in the right hands.
Yes, absolutely.
To get them back.
So we don't have an update. We know 40 to 50 people were stuck out on the ice. Rescue efforts are underway, may be done at this point. We'll continue to update you here on WDAY, online, on air. Our 11 o'clock newscast will for sure have an update for you. So thank you for sticking around for that story. A big story that we're following for you. A couple other news headlines that I want to update you on here before I let you go. Right now, Fargo police are asking for your help finding a missing woman. They're looking for 37-year-old Ciara Johnson. She's described as 5'1", blue eyes, brown hair. She was last seen in South Fargo last Wednesday. Her picture is posted on the Fargo Police Department's Facebook page. If you have any information, you're asked to call Red River Regional Dispatch. That number is 451-7660. Today, a special election board is in Fargo and expected to meet and certify the election results of the failed expansion of the Fargo Dome. The certification of those results is happening at a meeting at 11 this morning. You may remember it was about 2 weeks ago now that people in Fargo voted on a $140 million expansion of the Fargo Dome. It would have been funded by a 0.25% sales tax hike along with a 3% increase to the lodging tax. It needed 60% approval. It only got 51%. So you can expect an update on WDAY News on the certification of those election results and maybe an update on where the city wants to go from here because, of course, city leaders say upgrades are needed at the Fargo Dome. So what's next, right? Okay, talking about the Fargo Dome, let's talk about Bison football. Okay, the season may be over, but we're just starting a new chapter in the history of NDSU Bison football. The new head coach took 1 week. I feel like that's still very fast, although every single day we're like, are we going to know today? Well, we now know it's Tim Polasek. He's a familiar face to the program. He returns to Fargo after spending the last 3 years as an offensive coordinator at the University of Wyoming. Now, he was actually the offensive coordinator for the Bison from 2014 to 2016. He started coaching. He was a grad assistant and a coach starting back in 2006 here at NDSU. We do know at this point that it's going to happen immediately. He's not expected to coach during Wyoming's bowl game, which is on the 30th. And we are going to learn a lot more today. Of course, the official announcement's coming at a news conference this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We're going to carry that live for you on WDAY Extra, also streaming it for you on Inform.com, WDAY Plus, and we usually wait till the end to tell you Hot Mic. Dom is all over this story. Hot Mic with Dom Izzo, 9 to 11 this morning. Jeff Kolpak's going to be on the show. He's going to kind of break down because he, of course, has all the history on Bison football. He's going to be talking a little bit about, his rise from assistant to the new Bison boss. Plus, he's going to tell us who stays and who goes for both players and coaches, because it could be an active day in the transfer portal. Hot Mike is on from 9 to 11, so be sure to tune in, kind of a preview to that big news conference today at 2 o'clock. And also, I want to just remind you really quick, this morning some deadlines are happening for delivery services as we're inching closer to Christmas. Some of them have already passed at the United States Postal Service. The deadline for first-class mail was this weekend, but the deadline to send priority mail is today. So we're going to have more updates on those delivery and shipping times for you tomorrow on First News, so be sure to join us for that. Of course, shipping deadlines, shopping deals, and that holiday travel forecast. That's what we're going to have for you all week on First News. Remember, right now is a great time to get your Inform.com subscription. All of these news and weather headlines and the Bison Zone, right now, half off your annual subscription. So check that out at Inform.com/subscribe. Our next newscast coming up at 11 o'clock. Like I said, we're still tracking that ice rescue, hearing potentially everyone has been rescued off of the ice, but we're still working to confirm that. So we'll have an update for you on our news at 11 o'clock. And of course, we have you covered 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight, and all day long at Inform.com. Have a great day, everyone.